My daughter and them said I look like a swap meet bomb. So, Daddy, if you let them put, I swear to God, that's that shit from the swap. They know. Tell the truth, homie. That's just what.
It was like a bird. It was like a bird.
So
a bird on your chest. Is what
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but I know swap meet.
Yeah. So this Versace, homie.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Clean, man.
Yeah, man. Gave the belt 1,400. Shoes 2,200. Just balling, man. Shit.
That's right.
Yeah, if it wasn't for me, Suge would have never had a record company, homeboy.
All right, we're gonna do 4 or 5 more, and then we're done.
I can't see anything.
Yeah, you're seeing it completely on A. Yeah, you're good. So I just want to pick that up. So you were telling all these people not to go back, right?
Yes.
But that was your life.
Yes. I'm trying to tell them not to make the same mistake I made. You know what I'm saying? Get up out that shit, man. It ain't worth it. I'm 54 years old. Got 7 grandkids. You know what I'm saying? It ain't about that, man.
What did you learn that you want to make sure these guys don't? What mistakes did you make that you don't want people to make?
What mistakes I made? Well, part of drug game.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
That was a mistake. Well, yeah. Mistakes I made with trusting people. You know what I'm saying? Everybody ain't your homeboys. You know what I'm saying? It just ain't right, man. A lot of people folded chairs on me.
Well, you didn't leave. I mean, were you ever afraid? Like, I'm sure getting out of the game makes it better to live with some peace of mind. Like, nobody's going to jump you all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Is that true?
I'm a kid. I was just messing with you. Hey, we gonna go over this stuff before you put it on the air, ain't you?
Yeah.
She said we gonna chop it up
Yeah,
together.
yeah, of course. We're gonna make it look good.
Okay.
All right. So, a couple of serious questions. Tupac dies. How do you feel about it? I mean, this is a guy who was a major rap star, movie star. You're telling me
how I feel about it.
You're telling me now that people shouldn't act like gangsters. Do you feel sad about it at all?
How do I feel about it? Well, I hate the brother, got himself in that, put himself in a predicament, stuff like that, just taking off. I hate the way you go. Life don't go like that, just taking off on innocent people. My nephew was young, 20 years old, just take off on him. He didn't do nothing to you, He didn't do nothing to you.
So you think it was deserved?
No, I don't think it was deserved. Brother should have kept his hands to himself, and I hated that to go that way because it really fucked up my life. Period. Yeah.
Do you think about his family?
Yes.
What do you think about?
I hated that to be it. I hated that to go that way. You know what I'm saying? And Lord be with you guys. That's what I feel.
Since you said it ruined your life, do you have concerns about revealing all this stuff to me now?
Oh, shit. The Lord got me. I'm protected by the Lord, the hand of the Lord. Got a shield over me. He helped me through cancer and everything, Kept a shield on me from being killed by the Compton police, just rampart, all that. Because when I was in, shit.
Yeah. Trying to think. Since you told us about what happened that night in Vegas, do you feel bad? Do you feel like you want to apologize to Tupac's family?
Yes, I hated that to happen, bro. You know what I'm saying? He was a good guy. I mean, I hate that happen. He was a good rapper and stuff. He was a good role model for the people. And I just hate he had that bad side in him. You know what I'm saying? So I always want to take off.
Do you want to apologize to his family?
No, I didn't do nothing. I didn't do nothing to his family.
Yeah. Okay. One last time. You said the shots came from the back. Big Dre, Orlando. Who shot Tupac?
They keep it for the code of the streets. It just came from the back seat, bro.
So can you just tell me it was either one or the other?
Can't tell you that. It was in the back seat.
This is not. Wayne, this is not something that we don't know already. You told me who was seated in the back, and you're saying the shots came from the back. So I'm asking you to tell me, in your own words, that either it was one or the other.
I don't know who it was. It just came from the back seat.
They're both dead.
Yeah.
What's your concern?
What's my concern?
Yeah. Honestly, just...
Right now, I just want the Lord is protecting me, so I really don't have no concern. I'm in the hands of the Lord. Yeah. All my people is religious.
No, you're concerned in revealing who shot Tupac.
That's my concern?
Yeah.
I don't have no concern. I just want to be saying I'm no fucking rat running around like that, dude.
So this is about your code, right? This is about...
Yes.
Can you tell me that?
Yeah. Oh, this is about the code. I'm saying it came from the back seat, I'm tired of everybody trying to extort money. You know what I'm saying? Everybody just out for the money, being greedy. You know what I'm saying? It's a bunch of bullshit. You know?
Okay.
Soliciting us. They've been soliciting us for years, man. Yeah.
All right, I've done all I can. One more question. You know how I do my little research? I read that a Glock 40 was found in Corey's yard. Is that true? Corey Edwards?
Well, they said Corey was the first one who made statements about the situation. And I never gave Corey no gun. And nobody from that car never gave Corey no gun.
Can you tell me how the gun ended up in the car?
I ain't had no gun. I don't know who had a gun.
Okay. What happened to the gun after the murder? What'd you do with it?
I have no recollection of what happened to that gun. So.
Okay.
So you know about Corey snitching me out like that?
No, I just read that I didn't know about the snitching. I knew that the gun was found in his backyard.
Yeah, his neighbor got killed. This shit ain't going on the thing. It is?
No.
No, his neighbor got killed. He got scared.
Right.
Called Suge. You know what I'm saying? Oh, man. Yeah. So,
all right, man. Well, do you think somebody tossed a gun to frame him? The one that was found in the backyard?
That was bullshit. Yeah. Corey was just trying to get out of trouble.
Right.
Yeah.
We'll pick it up in Vegas then, yeah?
Yeah. That's what he said.
Told you. That's what Tara wants, too. It's not just me. Thanks, man.
But I would think, maybe you might want to ask some aesthetic questions now. Was it sunny? Was it clear? Were windows up and down? You might now.
Oh, yeah, let's get that real quick. Yeah.
Just in terms
it's actually it's nighttime, so.
Yeah, but you might want to mention it. They say it happened at night.
Right. Yeah. Let's just do it real quick. Just sit down.
Just a setting.
3 minutes.
My sister gonna kill me, man, if I don't go cook that food.
It's your lawyer who's asking.
But just setting.
This will be super quick.
That's why I'm saying it when we leave.
Because it helps the description. Yeah, let's keep rolling. Sorry, guys. Wendy, do you have anything?
I have one thing. I'll tell you. You can tell me if it's recorded.
Okay. I'm just gonna stand right here.
Okay.
Just so that we can sort of paint a picture about that night. Just tell me, was it cold? Was it warm? It happened in...
It was warm. It was kind of warm. September 7th. It was warm. It was warm and shit. It wasn't. What else? What else?
Was it? Were you guys drunk? Because you.
No, we weren't drunk or nothing. You knew fucked up our eye. They fucked. I mean, for the fuck up our eye, we was gonna go get high, drink bottles and smoke some weed and stuff.
You knew what you were doing.
Okay.
You weren't under the influence. Never mind. Were you driving fast? How fast were you driving? How slow were you driving?
I was never driving. I was in the passenger.
You were in the car, so.
We took it. We know not to burn rubber. That put us on. From being in Compton, you know not to burn rubber and stuff like that. Shit.
How long were you driving around till you saw them? How long did you drive around until you saw them?
Oh, well, long. We just left the liquor store. It took about 5, 10 minutes. Just seen them.
And what were you doing before that? You just driving around? Just tell me that.
No, we was going back to the. We was leaving the liquor store, going to the hotel, to our hotel room.
So you were not out there looking for them specifically?
No.
You just happened to see them?
Just happened to see
them. So it was a bad luck?
Yeah, it was bad luck. Yeah. If he hadn't even been out the window, we would have never seen him. He's hanging out the window like he was in the parade. Tupac, the ladies was out of Tupac. It's going like this, hanging out the window.
Okay. Any other details that are important? Oh, yeah. Did you see? Well, you just told me.
It was dark. Nighttime. What time was it? About 9 o'clock? At nighttime, yeah. Yeah. Dang, cool, yo, where you, man?
Did you guys have the windows down with the radio playing?
Yeah, the radio playing. We should go get out and have some fun. Yeah.
Okay, Randy, what you got? You can ask him.
Well, I just think there was.
Yeah.
I got you. There was word on the street that Orlando, after the shooting, was taking credit for it.
No.
Can you speak to that, react to those sentiments?
Orlando would never go around bragging about no stuff like that. Why would he incriminate himself? You know what I'm saying? If he did some stuff like that. Orlando would never do no stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Never in his life.
So to the best of your knowledge, there was no chatter in the streets between the two gangs about that?
No, not to my knowledge. I heard they had a hit out on me for $100,000. So I'm worried about that.
Describe that. What did you hear about this hit?
What's that?
What did you hear about this hit?
That was they had a meeting at Lucas Park and they said they had a hit out on me. I just started laughing.
Who had a hit out?
The fucking Death Row, Pyros. Maybe the police. That's the only person I was worried about was the police. Because they can handcuff you and pull you over and kill your ass. You know what I'm saying? Shit. Yeah.
You good?
Yeah.
I'm on. Can everyone sit still for 15 seconds while we got a room call?
Mr. Dorsey, those were the two conversations we listened to in 2017, correct?
Yes.
And then in 2018, the finished product the jury saw yesterday, that was Mario Diaz's finished product.
Yes, February of 2018 is when the show premiered.
At some point, did you become aware of a book written by Mr. Davis and a Joseph Yah?
Yes, I was maybe late 2018 when I think a Twitter account popped up under Keffe's name, and they were starting to promote it and put excerpts from the book up. That's when I knew for sure the book that he had mentioned during his interview with Death Row Chronicles that was actually happening.
And then in 2019, did you actually get a copy of the book?
Yes, as soon as the book was published, like the first day, I got a copy and read it.
Did you read it?
I did. I read it immediately in one go, one sitting.
Subsequent to that, have you seen Mr. Davis hold the book up and claim ownership of this book?
Yes, when he did his first Vlad TV interview, Vlad TV is a channel on YouTube that's a really popular interview channel. That was in, I think, the summer of 2019. He, at one point, held up a copy of his book and told people that they should read it and that it was the real truth.
First, I'm going to show you State's Proposed Exhibits 67, 68. I should take a look at those.
Yep.
Do those appear to be the front and back cover of that book that Mr. Davis was displaying and taking ownership of?
Yes, they do.
Move to admit.
Any objection?
Objection.
So admitted.
Showing you what's been marked as 127. Just briefly flip through that. That's the Kindle version because there is a redaction in there. While he's doing that, I'm going to put 167 and 67.
Yes,
appears to be the Kindle version of that particular book.
Yes, sir.
I don't want to go through the entire book with you, but I do have some questions. Does Mr. Davis in the first chapter describe his purpose in writing this book?
I don't recall exactly what he says at the beginning of the book.
Okay, I'm sure you'll have it back.
Yeah,
So
thank you.
I guess, Judge, I'll move to admit, what is that, 127?
Is that the book? So Kindle excerpts of the book.
It's the Kindle book with the court's redaction. Yeah.
Okay. Any objection that hasn't previously been relegated? You may. That will be admitted.
Within this book, does the defendant let me ask you this, do you know who Michael Duro is?
Yes, Michael Duro Jr., street name was Little Owl. He was Orlando Anderson's best friend. I understand going back to when they were toddlers.
And in the book, does Mr. Davis claim that he had some little homies in Las Vegas, and that's how he learned about the 662?
Yes, he said that there were people that were locals there that had heard the advertisements that the concert was happening that night with Tupac.
Judge, I'm going to ask you to take judicial notice State of Nevada versus Michael Durow, 96C 13644 in the 8th Judicial District Court of Nevada, that Michael Durow was found over to district court on June 13th of 1996 for trafficking in a controlled substance and transporting a controlled substance, pled guilty, and on August 20th of 1996 was remanded to boot camp and was in boot camp at the time of the homicide.
Give me the case number again.
96C 136488.
13649.
96C 136488.
488. Okay, perfect. Give me 1 second. Durrogh, Durrogh.
Yes, ma'am.
Let me check judgment of conviction. There is a judgment of conviction from a plea on 2/3/97 showing that. Judicial notice is taken.
Thank you. And specifically that he was remanded to the custody of NDOC on August 20th, 1996 and remained there through the time of the homicide.
August 20th, there was a hearing, status check on 120-day evaluation. And then he was ordered committed. The order of commitment was 8/22/96. Okay, I'll take that judicial notice then.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, did you give Michael Durrow's moniker?
Yeah, it's called Little Owl. A little owl on the street. Owl like the bird.
Within the book, does Mr. Davis use a different moniker for Little Owl?
Yes, he calls him the Reaper.
We just heard Mr. Davis talk about Corey Edwards in that second interview.
Right.
Do you know who Corey Edwards is?
Yes, he was at the time a close associate of Keffe D's. I think he referred to him as a lieutenant in his organization.
And the moniker, he uses the real moniker in his book, correct?
His name was C-Ray.
At the end of, well, before I get to the end of this book, early on, does the defendant describe his early criminal career that ultimately resulted in some convictions that sent him to prison?
Yes.
And Judge, I have marked as State Proposed Exhibit number 73 and 74 a felony conviction for possession of a controlled substance in Municipal Court of Compton, Judicial Court, County of Los Angeles, State of California, in case number A636901, as well as same charge, case A637226.
Any objection? Or you're asking to admit those?
Yes. No,
Any objection, Mr. Sanft?
No objection, Your Honor.
So admitted?
Mr. Davis also describes going to prison for 3 or 4 years in the late 80s.
Yes, he refers to it as Gladiator School.
Now at the back of the book, he calls out some people that he's upset with.
Yes.
One of those people is...
Objection, Your Honor, is the leading.
Okay. Will you rephrase?
Do you know... Well... Who's Uchis?
Uchi?
Yeah.
Uchi, I think we believe, is Win Prince, who was a very good friend of his, that he believed had snitched on him at some point.
Your Honor, I'm going to object to this as speculation.
What's your response, State?
Well, I'll lay a little more foundation.
Okay. So it's sustained at this time. You may attempt to lay more foundation.
What does Mr. Davis say about Uchis in the book?
He says that Uchi has been a good friend of his since they were
Before
children.
he answers the question, may we approach?
Yes. All right. You're to disregard the last answer to the incomplete question. State you may proceed.
Thank you. Can you describe for me what the defendant describes about Uchi's in the book?
Sure, he says he's one of his oldest friends, describes him as his right-hand man, and says that he is dead, that he's been killed. All three of those things line up with wind prints.
I'm going to ask you the next question, which is, what do you know about Wendell Prince?
Not a whole lot other than just he was really tight with Keffe. There's a great photo of them together. There's actually several photos of them together over the years. And I know, I think Wendell Prince was ultimately killed, I think in like a backyard over a drug deal or something like that. And I believe Keffe was listed as a pallbearer at his funeral.
What does he say about Tucker in the book?
He says that he is the brother of NBA player Tayshaun Prince. And there's only two brothers of Tayshaun Prince, and only one of them is involved in any of the street business, which would be Thomas Lamar Prince. And I'm not sure what else he says about Prince as far as, but I think he's listing people he has grievances with.
And finally, you don't know, there's a person named Menace.
Right.
You're unable to identify.
We've never been able to figure out who Menace is. There was a South Side Crip with that street name, but we don't think that that's who it is.
Now, you've been involved in this project, well, I guess it's 2012.
Correct.
In 2012, did you go and look at all the publicly available information there was that you could find?
Yes.
Did you, I'll start with Defense Exhibit A. Can you put it on me? I would do this actually like this, but Mr. Davis in 2008 said that the girls.
Objection, Your Honor, to leading.
I'll rephrase.
Okay.
What did Mr. Davis say in 2008 about the girls on the corner?
He said that after the shooting happened, that they drove forward and hit the right turn on the Cobalt, just like he was in the white Cadillac, and that they almost collided with each other. He referred to them as stupid bitches and said that they shot back at them and the girls stopped.
As of 2008, when that statement was made, was there any public information of a car chasing the Cadillac?
There was not no public information about the girls in a Sebring chasing the Cadillac, no. Nor about them almost colliding with each other.
I'm going to object, Your Honor, as the foundation. How does he know about public knowledge?
Sustained.
In the public information you were able to find, were you able to find any information?
That's right. I've never seen that before 2008 printed anywhere, that there was a near collision between the girls in the Sebring and the white Cadillac as they were fleeing the
Once
area.
again, I'm going to object as to foundation. Public knowledge as to how exactly is he talking about?
If you could lay more foundation about what he's reviewed to ultimately state this.
Sure.
What did you review?
The definitive book for a long time on this case was Kathy Scott's book, The Killing of Tupac Shakur. Probably dozens of news articles from back then that I went back through. I went to UCLA's archives and went through their newspaper archives looking for articles about this. I read the Labyrinth book by Randall Sullivan, which was primarily about Biggie's murder, but also covered Tupac's murder to some extent. It just isn't anywhere that I could find.
Now, Kathy Scott does say girls in a Chrysler sedan, correct?
Correct. She does not say Sebring. She just says a Chrysler. And she doesn't say anything about them going around the corner.
And once again, I'm going to object to that in terms of hearsay. We're now getting into other people's work, and he's quoting it verbatim. I'm not quite clear how that's not hearsay.
Is it offered for its truth,
It's
Mr.
not offered for the
DiGiacomo, or
truth.
is it?
It's offered for the fact that it wasn't said, not that anything that was said.
Okay, so I'm going to overrule the objection. The jury's not to consider what Ms. Scott wrote in her book for truth in any way. It's only to be considered to show that that wasn't included. This specific detail was not included in her book. You may proceed.
And then finally, I'm going to put up for you Defendant's Exhibit B. And if I could figure out how to zoom, because I never use these. Here we go. want you to read that to yourself.
Got it?
Prior to, I can't remember what day, sometime last week, when this report became public, are you aware of any public information that Mr. Anderson was trying to get into the Coyote Cafe?
I've never heard of that.
Thank you, sir. I'll pass the witness.
Okay. That's
Mr. Dorsey, are you a detective with Metropolitan Police Department?
Nope.
And your testimony here today is really based upon your work for this, let me make sure I got the right book here. Murder rap?
No, I had nothing to do with the writing of that book.
I don't care about the writing of the book, but you're here because of the Chronicles, the Death Row Chronicles thing that you did, right?
Let's make sure we're talking about the correct things. I did not write that book. I had nothing to do with it. I made the murder rap documentary that came a few years later that was based on that book. And then I was a consultant on Death Row Chronicles series that we've been playing Andrew from here.
Do you recall when the state asked you that you were first involved with this in 2012?
Yes.
In what way were you involved in this in 2012?
Yes, in late 2012, I came across an article about Greg Kading's murder rap book, and that's what first alerted me that the book even existed. And I reached out to Greg, asked if he wanted to make a documentary. He sent me a copy of the book and said, read it, and if I'm still interested, he's interested. And we went from there.
And your job really was, for the next couple of years, was to, do your own independent research?
Combination of doing my own independent research and also having Greg explain to me, a 3-4 year long investigation that he had conducted.
And your testimony to the jury was that you spent a couple of years doing that.
Correct.
And in terms of the books that you had mentioned that you used was Murder Rap, which is this book right here, right?
Yes.
Written by Greg Kading.
Correct.
And then you also used Kathy Scott's book, right?
That's correct, yes.
This book right here?
Yes.
You know what version of her book that you used?
I'm not sure what version I used.
And then you used another book. And what was that final book?
There was one called Labyrinth by Randall Sullivan.
Did you say that before?
I said it just a minute ago, yes.
Okay. What other books besides that one?
I'm not sure.
Any other books?
Not that I can think of off the top of my head, but there might have been some others.
How about Welcome to Death Row by Lee Savage?
No, I've seen the docuseries that he produced, though.
How about this book here by Frank Alexander, who was present on the night of the shooting?
I've read excerpts from that.
Excerpts?
Yes, sir.
Not the whole thing?
No.
Okay. How about this book here? I think you'd mentioned this before, Original Gangsters?
Yes, I've read that book.
That's the one you said before.
No, I don't think I've mentioned that one yet, but I have read that. I know the author.
And then how about this book here? Looks like it's an autobiography, Only God Can Judge Me by Jeff Cronin.
Yes, I've read that.
All right. Now, fair to say that when your job here and what you've done is talk to us a little bit about you or your work in a documentary, right? That's what you're doing here today.
Sure, and what I learned in the process of making a documentary, yes.
Right, and what you learned in the process of making a documentary. And I just want to make sure we're clear for the jury. Documentaries really is a business, right?
Sure. It's not a very good business, but yeah.
Yeah. In fact, you could do a lot better than sitting up here today talking about or testifying about a murder that took place 30 years ago, right?
I could do better, what, business-wise?
Yeah.
Sure. If I was running a show for Discovery like I do in the past, yes, that pays very well.
Sure. And with regard to what you do with the business, and I want to make sure the jury understands, there is a project, there is a sort of an idea that's out there that's formulated, and then at some point there is a discussion as to whether or not it's marketable or not, right?
Correct.
and then maybe you go out and you farm it out for people to invest in the project and maybe provide money and funding for the project.
Sometimes you do, and sometimes you just do it yourself.
Right. And the idea behind it at some point is because you want to be able to sell your product to the viewers, right?
That's part of the idea, but that's not the only reason I make it.
Sure. Now, in this case, though, when you are looking through your documentary, you're doing a documentary here on the Death Row Chronicles, right? Death Row Chronicles meaning death row, or what was it?
No, I'm focused mainly on the murders of both Tupac and Biggie.
All right. And you team up with Greg Kading.
I do.
And Greg Kading, I would imagine in your work over the 2 years that you did the research, you were looking through all the details of what you could find on the Tupac murder.
Yes, but he also turned over his case files from the LAPD to me. So
Can you describe for us what those case files look like?
Absolutely. They were digitized case files. It was over 2,700 PDF reports going back to 97 or so. Probably over 100 hours of audio of interviews with witnesses and potential suspects, photos, crime scene photos, mainly of the Biggie case, that kind of thing.
Anything else?
Off the top of my head, that's mainly it. You got, there was some video of from the Biggie shooting. There was some home video that was entered into as evidence.
All right. And when you were doing your research, the 2 years of research you did on this particular project, you interviewed detectives?
I did. I interviewed Greg Kading. I interviewed Kelly Cooper, who was one of the original detectives out of Wilshire Homicide on the Biggie case. I interviewed, well, those are the two main detectives I interviewed for the case.
All right. I just want to hear something to do with Las Vegas Metro. Did you interview any detectives in Las Vegas Metro?
I did not.
You do understand that the homicide of Tupac Shakur was the responsibility of Las Vegas Metro?
100%.
And as of right now, you're telling us you interviewed a guy by the name of Greg Kading, who's from California, and some girl from California as well.
No, Kelly Cooper's a man, but yes.
Oh, fine. Kelly Cooper's a man.
Yes.
But both of those people are in California.
Yes.
All right. Now, in addition to that, can you tell us, for instance, who the detectives were that were the lead detectives from Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department that handled this investigation?
Sure.
Please don't interrupt.
Okay.
Go ahead.
You're done? Okay. Sergeant Manning, there was I believe a Detective Becker, a Detective Long.
Anybody else?
That's all I'm aware of off the top of my head.
Okay. Are you aware of a Detective Mott?
Yes. Current or most recent detective, yes.
Now, when you finally put this project together, I'm assuming at some point you called Metro and said, hey, we got the guy who's confessed now to the crime, right?
I do once Death Row Chronicles airs.
I'm sorry, what?
After Death Row Chronicles airs, I reach out to Metro Police, yes.
Yes. You reach out to Metro Police. Who was it that you spoke to at Las Vegas Metro?
Well, first I got on their website and just emailed their general info@homicide email address. And a while later, Detective Mogg responded to me, and we started going from there.
So you know who Detective Mogg is?
I do, yes.
Now, in fact, you were given an interview at some point in the future by the Sun from England. You recall meeting with a reporter?
Yes.
James Desborough?
Desborough, yes.
Okay. And in that interview, you had told Mr. Desborough that you had to send out 100 emails to Metro.
Eventually, once we're going back and forth, yes.
Okay, those emails were all concerning the Tupac case.
Yes, correct.
Now,
And that was over the course of several years.
fine.
Okay.
But once again, you had said, hey, we have information, please look at my documentary, right? Something along those lines.
No, that's not what I said. I said watch Death Row Chronicles.
Oh, I apologize. So,
You keep conflating my documentary with the series Death Row Chronicles. I did not make Death Row Chronicles. I was just a consultant on it.
Okay.
But that's the one where Keffe first went public with his interview, which made it noteworthy enough for me to be like, you should look at this. This is new information for your case.
and when you sat down to actually start working on the project Death Row Chronicles,
Yes,
we are listening to audio of those two interviews that happened, right?
correct.
Now, up until that point, fair to say, Mr. Davis had never spoken about this publicly.
To my knowledge, he had never spoken publicly about this case. No, that's what made it significant.
Right, and you had been aware, of course, that according to your understanding of the proffer of 2008, if he didn't say anything to, let's say, a media source, then the proffer would still be protecting him.
That's how I understood it, yes.
So, in essence, when you were sitting down with Mr. Davis, you were pushing him to violate the proffer.
I'm not pushing him. I'm not even in the room with him.
I know. We're going to talk about that in a second.
Okay.
But in essence, you are on a little earbud or something along those lines in another room, and you're telling the interviewer to keep pressing on Mr. Davis.
I was not thinking at all about him violating his proffer. I honestly didn't think the proffer would ever be used. I didn't understand that's how that worked. I thought he's giving a public confession. That public confession can be used, absolutely.
Now, in addition to that, you are in another room, and you do not want to be seen by Mr. Davis.
That's correct.
In fact, Mr. Kading, Detective Kading, former Detective Kading, is also not present because he does not want to be seen by Mr. Davis.
That's correct.
And so, in essence, as you're sitting there listening to the conversation, you're telling the person information that's specific to the 2008 recording.
Yes, I'm going. I know when he knows more to a question that he hasn't answered yet, or if there's another way to phrase a question that might help.
Now, in
But I
addition,
can tell you sorry to cut you off, but most of the questions were written in advance. I only offered up maybe a half dozen total across 2 interviews of additional questions.
yeah. So let's make sure we understand because we're not in the room and there's no cameras. As we're listening to the recording, there's another voice that's on the recording, sometimes talking about getting a Diet Coke or something good like, "Oh, this is great." Is that you?
No, there were a couple other. It depended on when people came and went from that office, and there was different people in there on different days. It was just employees of the production company or other contractors that were on that show.
And in addition to that, while you're sitting there, you're having these conversations about Mr. Davis, and you are, is it typing? Because I'm hearing like little knocks on something. Is that you texting?
That's me texting, yes.
And so you're texting the individual that's listening?
I'm texting Marion, yes, sir.
Now, as you're doing that, of course, Mr. Davis does not know that you're doing that.
Correct.
And you are working at that particular point for which company?
I was a contractor for Entertainment One / Creature Films, the production company.
So you are not an employee, you're an independent contractor?
Correct.
All right. Technically working for yourself?
Sure.
All right. And the contract that was between Mr. Davis and whoever on the show would have been who? You?
No, it would have been with the production company.
All right. So the production company meaning who?
Again, Entertainment One or Creature Films. I'm not sure who he dealt with.
Okay. So Mr. Davis has a contract with regards to the production, and during the time period that we are listening to your recording, fair to say though that you had basically taken your phone and placed it by the speaker.
Yes, that's correct.
And you're basically recording the entire conversation.
That's right.
Including the parts that technically was never ever either produced in a BET production or anything like that.
There were some extra bits in there, sure.
Sure. And once again, you didn't have the permission of either BET to do that, right?
Again, I didn't have to seek their permission to do it.
You're an independent contractor. You don't have a contract with Mr. Davis. So tell me how you believe you could record that without Mr. Davis's permission.
Absolutely. I'm a technical.
calls for a legal conclusion.
I'm asking for his contract, Your Honor.
Overruled. I think he can answer the question as asked.
A couple of things. First of all, contract does not outline every single duty that that a crew member is going to do on a shoot. It's not like you have to constantly keep getting permission to do stuff in order to do your job. My job there was primarily centered on his interview. So once I realized that when he showed up that first day and was kind of giving them the runaround, and he was dressed in shorts and a t-shirt and was acting like he didn't know why he was supposed to be there and that the interview wasn't supposed to be that day, I sat in that office for quite a while before they got started. And then when we've learned that basically, look, we're going to have to interview this guy twice. We're going to try to get him in now and get something, but he's going to have to come back later. I thought, okay, well, then I'm going to record it so that in between these interviews, I don't know how long it's going to be before we get him back again, I have a record of what he said so that when we come back for round 2, I know proper questions that should be in there, what has already been answered thoroughly, and what we need to ask him again. That is why I made that recording. Never in a million years did I think that that recording was going to be playing in court.
And of course, you turned over that recording to BET because, once again, it's part of their work, right?
No, of course not.
You kept that recording.
Yes.
And you do understand, though, that in the state of California, if you are recording someone without their permission, that is a crime.
Objection calls for a legal conclusion again.
I'm asking for his understanding of the laws, Winner.
That calls for a legal
Sustained.
conclusion.
Sure, I'll
It's sustained. Hang on, you can, if you want to rephrase without asking him about a specific California law.
That's all right. He's reading into it. Let me ask you this question, though, sir. When you are recording this conversation,
yes.
did you, at that particular point, turn it over to Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department?
I did not.
You kept that recording,
Yes.
and then you created your project with that, right?
No. I've never used that recording for anything. What project are you talking about?
Let me ask you this, though, sir. In terms of who's responsible here to solve the Tupac murder, that's not your responsibility,
It
right?
can be anybody's responsibility.
Okay. You're saying that it's not Metro's?
It could be theirs as well. Of course it is. Any citizen can investigate a crime if they want to.
Right. And we're going to get into that a little bit, but in terms of how you go about doing your job, fair to say that a detective would be the one that would handle that investigation,
Sure.
right?
At some point, sure.
Right. And it's not like, say, the FBI, it's not LAPD, right? Compton PD. In this case, the Tupac murder was the responsibility of Metro.
To some extent, except that I know LAPD made the argument that if the crime was planned in the city of Los Angeles, that they could also take ownership of the case. And you can ask Greg Kading about that if he comes up here.
I don't even know what you just said. I'm just asking you this question. Let me just ask you this question, sir. So, you send over notice to Metro, and you say, hey, we solved this thing. You send over 100 emails to Metro, and they didn't do anything about it, did they?
No, because they were...
No, that's a yes or no answer. They didn't do anything about it.
What didn't do anything about it, Define didn't do anything. They were working the case as far as I was concerned. They were responding to me. I was sending them because he kept talking. He started doing YouTube interviews. So every time he would do an interview, I'd send it to him. Be like, hey, here's a new interview. Hey, this clip, he says this for the first time publicly. He says this. And there was back and forth going on with me and Detective Mogg. So I got the sense that he was absolutely working that case. And it's detective work 101. If your suspect is talking, you let him talk. And he was talking, so every interview he did was additional evidence to use against him.
Okay. So what was he talking in?
What was he talking in?
Sure. What was the information that he was talking in? Are you talking about your documentary at this particular point?
No. I'm talking about he's going on YouTube. He's going on Vlad TV. He went on, I think he ended up doing a total of 9 interviews on YouTube over a 4-year period.
Did you verify any of the information that he gave you?
What do you mean?
Well, the information that you learned in this case, right?
Who gave me?
Well, the information that you learned from either the listing of the 2008 proper or in the interview with Mr. Davis. Did you go out and conduct your own investigation to verify the information?
Sure, I went through, well, again, I had unfettered access to the case files, and there's lots of corroborating evidence in those case files.
Now, when you say the case files, and I want to make sure I'm clear here.
Sure.
You're talking about Greg Kading,
Yes.
and you're talking about Greg Kading, who's former LAPD.
Well, I'm not just talking about Greg Kading. I'm talking about every detective that
Just
came
answer
before
my
him.
question, please.
I am. You're trying to phrase it in a certain way. Not just Greg Kading. It's not just his files. In fact, the majority of them are from detectives that came before him, including Las Vegas police files.
All right. What detectives are you talking about before Greg Kading?
Sure. A lot of the biggie detectives had gathered evidence. Don't shake your head. A lot of biggie detectives gathered evidence. Jeez, man. A lot of biggie detectives that gathered evidence that pertained to the Tupac case because the two cases it became known or believed were connected. So they had informants coming forward to them on the biggie case that were saying, hey, these two things are connected.
Okay. So once again, evidence or information that would have gone to the detective, right?
Eventually to Greg Kading and his team of detectives, yes.
Once again, you got to understand, Greg Kading was not responsible for the investigation of the Tupac murder.
Correct.
He was part of the task force specifically for the Biggie Smalls murder.
That's correct.
And you are aware at some point he's removed from that task force, right?
Yes.
And one of the things he does is he steals